Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2022 mid-month general readings. We're looking at the last 2 weeks of August, and this reading is for the air sign of Aquarius. Welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, any of the videos on my YouTube channel, for your likes, shares, hitting that subscribe button, all the referrals, comments and feedback. It's all greatly appreciated. Thank you. So Aquarius, this is for you for the last half of August 2022. If your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign is an Aquarius, it's also relevant if you're cross-watching for an Aquarian. It's going to resonate a little differently for everyone, of course. It's a general reading. So if you know all of your signs, sun, moon, rising, and Venus, watch each of those videos for any additional insight and perspective it can provide you. And if you find that something does resonate with you, enough that you'd like to take a deeper look, peel back the layers a bit, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else. Personal readings do make great gifts. You can find my contact info by clicking on the description link with this video. You can email me directly at maggie_mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you, and I can usually respond the same day with more information. I do offer quite a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, of different types and lengths and costs. So if you're interested, send me an email and I'd be happy to get back to you. I do readings full time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent at scheduling people in as quickly as possible. So if that's something you would be interested in, message me. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see what the last half of August looks like for you. I'm using the Tarot of Dreams and clarifying with the Gilded Tarot. We begin with a little disappointment here. We have the Five of Cups. 2 cups still upright and full, so not all is lost. But 3 cups are tipped over and spilled out, so it can represent disappointment, sorrow, loss, regret. With strength, dealing with it. Facing fears, doubts, insecurities. Maybe also looking at, the Five of Cups can mean regret and apologies or feeling sorry for something, maybe something we did. Part of strength can be the strength of flipping the mirror around and taking a look at, the part that we may have had to play or you may have had to play in this situation too. It's never just one-sided typically. So there's that. Next we have the Nine of Coins, independence, self-sufficiency, self-confidence. Being at a place where you don't need to rely or depend on someone else. That can be positive or taken to any extreme. Of course, it can be challenging or negative. With the Knight of Coins, slow, steady, sure movement. Knights always represent offers and opportunities for change. The Knight of Coins is a little slower because he's the Knight of Earth, slower than his other brother knights, fire, water, air. But he always crosses the finish line. This looks like somebody who's confident they can accomplish something or move forward with something. It's kind of like there's some kind of disappointment or letdown and you're not sure yet, but it's like you're reasonably confident you can continue to push something forward. Next we have the Seven of Swords, which is typically a card of something being concealed or hidden motives, whether it's positive or negative. We all operate off the grid sometimes. But it's a card of not revealing something or not revealing something. Operating kind of behind the curtains or what people can't see. With, the Moon. It's also a card that lacks clarity and illumination and can represent hidden fears or deep-seated fears you may not be talking about or showing. There's a sense of not maybe knowing how something is going to work out, or you're trying to figure out how something's going to work out or trying to figure out how to move something forward. Feeling a bit lost is kind of what I'm getting for some of you. Okay, from the bottom of the deck, the overall guidance is the Wheel of Fortune. So change, divine timing and orchestration. All right, let's clarify. Let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune as overall energy, which always means change from the divine, or the opportunity for that. There's going to be change either way, meaning because free will, free agency, there's always decisions and choices available. But there's going to be change in whatever the situation is, one way or the other. So let's clarify the Wheel of Fortune. We may have a choice as to whether something happens or not. But we always have a choice, even if something external comes in that we can't control, we always have a choice in how we deal with it. Clarify a Wheel of Fortune. King of Swords, there's you, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Clear thinking, trying to figure out truth, reality, trying to make good practical decisions. Two of Wands, a path, two paths of action. Which one do I take? Decisions, choices, crossroads. You know, the Wheel of Fortune represents divine timing and orchestration, but the fact that the Wheel of Fortune is bringing the energy of the Two of Wands represents that God, Spirit, angels, and guides are presenting you with a choice, that if you make the right choice by Spirit's definition, it can move you forward or not. Again, there's change no matter what. The World, the Ten of Cups. The World is the last major arcana card in the tarot. It represents a pretty significant cycle, chapter, set of chapters wrapping up, and you're moving on. Either it can represent, and I feel it does here, Aquarius, represent that you have an opportunity to make choices about whatever this Ten of Cups means. Home, marriage, family. The World card can mean taking something to the next level or walking away from something completely. Either way, you're leaving something behind and there's change. What it is about is the Ten of Cups, which, I mean, this is a general reading of the Ten of Cups, can mean a variety of things. Marriage, relationships, home, family. But there's a choice here. It basically looks like either take something to another level or let it go. Or it will be let go of. Because the Wheel of Fortune is driving this. What they are, and we can't control that, but what they are giving you is a choice, an opportunity. Interesting. Clarify the Five of Cups, sorrow or regret, loss. Queen of Wands, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, male or female, because this is a general reading. So there's some kind of sadness or grief or regret about something in regards to this person. This is not you. I mean, sometimes, you know, other signs, we can manifest as different signs or different elements in different areas of our life, but I feel this is somebody else, somebody that you have some kind of connection or relationship with. The Five of Coins. Feeling abandoned, rejected, not good enough, or shut out, or feeling like you have to beg or ask, or maybe they do. They feel this way and you feel bad about that. Maybe you had a part to play in that as well, because we do have that Strength card. The Three of Wands. So you're disappointed about something, perhaps. I mean, the Three of Wands is about starting to see your efforts paying off and watching that ship come in and feeling quite positive and optimistic about what it's bringing. Your ship's coming in, right? So there's a sense of waiting for that in anticipation. But there's some disappointment here. Maybe you thought something was going to happen and it's not, or now it's uncertain whether it's going to happen or not, and you feel sorry about that. I'm getting this, I feel like this is, for some, at least some of you, a romantic relationship of some kind. And, you know, takes two, right? There's regret here that something is going on. You thought something was going to happen and it's not, or you're not sure. Some of you, you know, you've had a part to play in this too. I mean, you know, there's fault on both sides, right? In relationships. Let's clarify Strength. But there's some disappointment here. Either something's not working out or you're not sure if it will. Because I do get a sense of waiting too. Maybe somebody, the other person, the other scenario, the other situation changed their mind or is uncertain about something. I feel like this is a relationship that has a connection, love, caring, and history. Could be being together a long time, living together, something like that. But there's been issues. Maybe you thought... Let me clarify the Strength card. I'm picking up somebody's specific story. The Three of Cups, celebration, social energy, getting together. I think you thought you were maybe getting together with this person, meeting with this person, getting back together, reconciling, I don't know. Coming together in a way that maybe there was some difficulty before, or separation or distance or estrangement, and maybe you guys talked and you thought maybe you were going to get together at least this time, but it's not happening, or you're not sure it's going to happen, or the other person on the other side is uncertain, so you're like, oh no. But this overall energy, it feels like Spirit is saying, look, you or the other person, you can flip this around, needs to make a decision to either move this relationship forward or let go or something. There's an opportunity here because there's going to be change regardless of what you do. What I believe Spirit is offering you here, Aquarius, or the other person, is the opportunity to move it forward in a beautiful way. Like if you've been together for a long time, you're not married, getting married, or some next step commitment, or, let it go. Because I think what happens from here on in kind of hinges on your willingness to change, or the other person's willingness to change in the sense of trusting enough to take the next step, if that makes sense. Let's clarify this Nine of Coins. Independence, self-sufficiency. Two of Cups. Yeah, it's a relationship it could be best friends. And the Five of Wands, which is petty drama or arguing, fighting over the same thing. Yeah, it may be that one person in this relationship is, really independent, doesn't, wants to, be with somebody, but also it feels like one person in this, whether it's you or the other person, is resistant to moving something forward. They like things the way they are. And this is something that's been an ongoing bone of contention for some time between you and this other person. It may be that whoever is resistant to moving this forward has reasons that have to do with really negative or painful experiences from the past, which may not have anything to do with this other person that you're in a relationship now. But it's driving this not wanting to move forward. Clarify the Knight of Coins. Nine of Swords, stress, anxiety, fear of an unknown future because you don't know how this is going to turn out. Page of Cups, Four of Cups, trying to convince the other person, the person trying to convince you, some combination of that. Fighting over moving this forward, fighting over getting together, fighting over maybe them traveling to see you, you traveling to see them if there's some physical separation between you. The other person is like, I'm tired of doing this. Yeah. It feels like somebody's relation, yeah. The issue is clear, but there's resistance here. And it feels like one person is saying, well, let's get together and, enjoy ourselves the way we always have. And this other person is like, yeah, that's tempting. That sounds good. But it doesn't fix this problem that we've been going around and around and around about for all this time. So I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Because this is ultimately what I want. And if I come back and, and we have fun and do all this stuff, then I'm just perpetuating this. And I don't want to do that. So there's an uncertainty here. Clarify Seven of Swords. What is being hidden or not revealed? Seven of Cups, Ace of Cups. Multiple options, looking at things, daydreaming, looking at the opportunity, looking at maybe different ways how one person can convince the other person to come back together or come to see them. Maybe to try to convince them, look how good it is when we're together. Nothing needs to change. If we change, it'll ruin stuff. Let's just, yeah. Clarify the moon. Feels like somebody, you are trying to convince the other person that everything's fine the way it is. Let's go back to the way things was, or they're trying to do that to you. And they're trying to figure out how to do that. It feels like a relationship maybe for some of you where one person is like, okay, we've been together all this time. Let's get married. I want, more of a stable commitment, long-term future. And the other person is like, we don't need to get married. It'll ruin things. It always does. It always has in the past, whatever. I love you. I'm not going anywhere. We're committed. So let's just go back to things being the way they are. And that person trying to convince the other person to do that. Clarify the moon. I feel like I'm picking up one person's specific story, but it may be just for a group of you who have a similar situation. The moon. The magician, the manifester, is taking all your experience and wisdom and knowledge and your, the physical work to manifest something in reality. The Three of Coins, compromise, collaboration, sitting down to work it out, figuring out a resolution. Seven of Swords again. This feels like somebody is secretly trying to figure out how they can convince someone to come back. Either you guys broke up and you're reconciling, or there's been issues. Somebody went away for a while and, the other person's like, you're wanting to get the other person back with you because you figure if that does, then that'll give you the opportunity to convince the person to just have things be the way they were. Somebody doesn't want to make that next step commitment. They don't want to let go. They don't want to break up. I'm not saying infidelity or cheating or anything here. They just don't want to make that next step. It feels like the other person is on the verge of just leaving or walking away completely. And they're trying to figure out, it could be you, it could be the other person, how to convince them to stay with them, maybe not do the next step, but just to go back to the way things were. It's kind of like hidden motives or secret motives here. We're only looking at a short period of time, like 2 weeks, right? So there's all this internal stuff going on, some conversations here. It feels like somebody either doesn't want to go to where you're at now or vice versa, or they're not sure. And you thought they were, but now you're disappointed and you're kind of secretly, you or the other person is kind of secretly trying to figure out how you can make this happen. That's what I'm picking up. I don't mean to laugh because there's probably aspects of this that are difficult and painful, but yeah, it feels like somebody's trying to figure out how they can, convince this person. All right, advice, guidance, feedback for Aquarius for the last half of August. Five of Swords, a victory, but a hard one. You really had to fight for this, winning at all costs. It's a card in terms, it can be like being overly ambitious, but as advice, it represents not giving up, fighting the fight. Strength here again, facing your fears, doubts, insecurities, but also flipping the mirror around and taking a look at what responsibilities you have in this situation too, and owning those. The Devil, breaking toxic negative cycles, right? It may be here an ideology that you hold or the other person holds about why they don't want to take that next step because they're afraid some painful, catastrophic thing that may have happened to them in their past will repeat itself again. So they cling to this belief system or this ideology that will keep them from getting hurt in the same way again. It feels like that really needs to be broken here in order for this to move forward. The Star and the Sun, reconciliation, renewed stored hope, faith, wish fulfillment, all that darkness and heaviness uplifting. But it's on the other side of fighting this fight to free yourself from some kind of toxic negative cycle here. It might be within the relationship itself, but it feels like it's within this. This does not feel like a relationship that is inherently a bad relationship. It feels like there's quite a karmic connection and love in between the two of you, but it feels like it's time for the relationship to move forward, to take that next step. And somebody is really resistant and has all these reasons why, which are based on a negative, painful history, which I don't think has anything to do with the current person, but it's preventing the relationship from moving forward. And here, Spirit, it feels, Aquarius, like Spirit is giving you the opportunity to make positive changes, to move this forward and actually learn for the first time what it's like to actually have this in a positive way. But if you don't, I feel like divine timing and orchestration and the choices of this other person is going to say, okay, I can't continue this. So there's going to be change either way, Spirit is saying, but what Spirit is giving you is the opportunity to decide what that change is going to be in your life and in this relationship. I think I'm going to leave it here because that feels like the end of what I need to say. So Aquarius, those are your somewhat intense messages for the last half of August. I hope they were helpful, or at least gave you some food for thought, something to chew on. Again, if any of this resonates with you, and not that you'd like to take a deeper look at it, reach out for a personal reading for yourself or as a gift for someone else, feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to hear from you and to work with you. You can also see that contact info by clicking on the description link with this video. I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the September general readings. Until then, stay safe and well, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.